Good. We went shopping.
Do your intro. Don't talk to me. Do your intro. Whatever you gotta do.
I'm just going to cut it out anyway, so it doesn't matter. It was good. It was good. It was good. I felt good about it. I felt like it was not a waste of time. I finished Stranger Things. I've seen it all.
And showtime.
Dude, is it so good? I'm 5 episodes deep now,
Oh,
and I'm like,
you're halfway done then, yeah.
Yeah, I'm in there.
The last episode is like an hour and 40 minutes long, but it was like it's quick. It was a quick hour and 40 though. It was fun.
It's good, man. I'm excited about it. I am at the point where, spoiler alert, I don't know, some shit happens.
Dude, I think if anybody's gonna watch Stranger Things, they're at least 5 episodes in by now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the luxury of that kind of time. But no, I'm at the point where she ends up going into the fucking upside down or whatever, and she's walking through that black water, and she sees Billy. And he's like, "Oh, hey, you are showing us where you are," and all that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When Billy starts talking to her.
And then everybody just sacrifices themselves to the fucking flesh beast.
Yeah,
They're
that's
like, oh, hey.
That was gross, but I was into it.
Oh, God, it's so good. Like, it's very well done.
The flesh atronach.
Yeah, when they when they just disintegrate and just assimilate into that thing, it's like, oh, God, that's what that would look like. Like, if that were a thing.
I think that's pretty.
That's what it would look like.
It's pretty fair. Yeah,
I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, man,
it was a good week though. We did the 4th. We went over to my sister's house.
Yeah.
We saw a bunch of fireworks driving home, so it was just as good.
I don't know that I've ever met your sister. I love your sister so much.
Yeah, she's sweet. She's funny. She's really funny.
She is really funny. I've seen things that you've sent me of your sister, and I'm like,
yeah, she and I have that same wit.
I'm very funny.
I know. That's very the.
Mm-hmm. We get it from my dad.
Did you? God damn it!
Perpetually. God damn it!
Did you watch the Adam Devine special that I told you to watch?
I saw the first half. I did start watching it though. Yeah, it's really funny.
It is very funny. I liked it a lot.
It was like Adam Levine put on 40 pounds and lost 11 inches. He does not look good.
He talks about doing a fucking the audition for Pitch Perfect, and he was doing a fucking what's it called? What's that show he did?
Workaholics.
Yeah, he was doing Workaholics. So they're like, no, you need to do this fucking audition. He's like, Pitch Perfect, a baseball movie, done. And then he fucking wears fucking baseball pants and doing stretches and practicing ground balls outside. And then fucking there's these guys doing fucking singing. He's like, good luck singing in a baseball movie, pussy. Like, it was really good. So for those that are watching, if you haven't seen the Adam Devine special on Netflix, definitely do so. It's very funny. It made me laugh a lot.
I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
From what I got to see, it was good.
You should finish it and then let me know what you think. It's fantastic.
I can tell I already liked it. Like just by halfway through it, I'm like, yep. And I think it only gets stronger as it goes. So I was like, yep, it was good. I didn't know he did stand up. Like I didn't know he was a stand up comic.
I didn't either. That was the first one I've seen of him. So I was like, oh, this should be interesting.
Yeah.
Like if it's not good, it should be a really funny, like he's gonna bomb the fuck out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was good.
My birthday was good too. It was good.
Oh, dude, it was your birthday.
I did. I had my cumpleaños.
How old are you now?
26.
Feliz cumpleaños.
21. Thinking about maybe moving out of my mom's house. We'll see. Thinking about it. I don't rush into anything. It's decisions, you know.
Happen. Dude, I love your mom.
I do too. She's so funny.
Your mom's the best. I didn't have a choice. That was the best text message I've ever seen.
Let me see what
Thanks for pushing me out. I didn't
no choice.
Just happened.
Let me see. I'll find it. I'll throw it up here.
Ah, so good. Oh yeah, do it.
There we go.
This is gonna be good, guys. It's worth it.
God, I text my mom a lot. There it is.
You do, and I don't blame you, man, because your mom's amazing.
She's pretty funny.
You should give your mom my number so that we can text a lot also. Since she's my,
Right. Yeah, she's your inherited mother there. Kind of see it there.
There it is. I love you. Thanks for pushing so hard for hours. That was cool of you. No choice, smiley face.
No choice. Thanks for pushing me out for hours. That was cool of you. No choice.
Yeah, and didn't have an option. There was no option there.
This is happening.
Had the option be given to me, you'd have stayed in there forever.
It's funny too because she still does it like I'm 13 years old. She's like, "What do you want for your birthday?" And it's like, I learned, like, I think it was like my 30th birthday, that like if you don't tell her what something you would want was, she's just gonna buy you something, and it may or not be something you like. So you might as well just fucking tell her, like, just, all right, I'll take one of these, and then she gets it. It's fucking great.
So you told her that she's my mom now, right?
Yeah, she knows.
Okay, good.
Had she watched a single podcast, she would know that as well, because I think it's been brought up every single episode.
Several times. Yeah. Several times. I have a whole Amazon wish list.
Chill.
I built that up fairly extensively.
Yeah, alphabetized.
Yeah, it's in there.
I like it. How was your week, man? What'd you do?
Dude, it was man. Like,
how was your last 2 weeks? Because we didn't cast last week.
We didn't cast last week. So last week it was good. Saturday I went with Phillips and drank axes. I drank beer and threw axes.
Safety first.
I brought Marie with me.
Mm-hmm.
And she did really well, actually.
I noticed.
Like when we first got there, they were like, "Is anybody not participating?" And she's like, I'm like, "Nope, you're fucking doing it. Like,
yeah, you're doing this.
You're gonna do it." And then she got in there and she did it. She was, in all honesty, awful. She was like trying to push the axe like to the target, and it just didn't work like that. And I had a talk with her, and then the other people that were there, like that worked the place, they were like, "Hey, just don't do what you're doing. Do it differently." And so I talked to her, and I was like, "Hey, just let the axe do the work for you. Like, the head of the axe is heavy. It wants to go where you're gonna throw it. Just let it go, let it spin, do its thing." And then she started fucking nailing it. Like, I was like, "Man, good job. Like, you're doing really, really well." And then she had a good time. She met Arnold's wife and then Phillips's wife, and they got to talking and shit. So they had a really good time, and we had a good time. And then that was actually the night that we were supposed to stream. So we came back, and our babysitters were friends from Surprise.
Yeah.
And they have their own kids, so they were all here. So when we got back, we were just kind of hanging out with them, and I was like, I don't think this is ever gonna end.
Yeah, I don't think they're leaving.
I don't think they're gonna leave. Yeah, but which was fine, you know. Like I very much enjoyed my time with them because I don't get to see them that often, and we ended up playing fucking Jackbox games till 4 in the morning.
Oh god,
4:30 in the morning, and because you know conversation started running dry, and I was like, we had talked about DUIs and shit, so they weren't like. Then they were drinking, so like, yeah, well, we're not driving home. I was like, yeah, well, that makes sense in the context of conversation. So I was like, well, let's do this. So we did that, and the kids got in on it, and it was very apparent the answers that the kids gave, because they're not that witty yet.
Yeah.
But it was a good time, man, and they had a blast with it. Like Aiden came in the other day, and it was just me, him, and his mom. He's like, hey, can we play Jackbox games? It's like,
fuck yeah.
Doesn't work with 3 people, buddy. Like it just doesn't.
You can't do it.
Fake. Those are all.
That's awesome.
Boobs with a W is not the real answer.
Boobs.
Boobs.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that was a good time. And then, like I said, I found out I got the job that
I told you. Not even jinxed.
You did tell me, yeah.
I'm always right.
And the thing is, it's bittersweet, because I really I say really enjoy. I don't really enjoy what I do, but I enjoy the technical aspect of what I do. Like
sure.
I'm learning a lot, man. I dig in there and get into the tech side of things, and it's like, oh shit, this does this, and it makes sense. But now I'm going to be taking over Phillips's job, so it's like it's stepping away from that. But the pay bump is nice, and
hell yeah.
And I get to work for Phillips still because he's still going to be my boss, which makes me happy. It's a lot different than the last time I was in leadership in this company, so it's a good thing, I guess.
I like that.
And I'm getting solar installed in the house.
Oh yeah, you said you were making that. When does that happen?
So they come out and do the survey on 8th, so on Monday. They're gonna come out and take pictures and plan out where they're gonna install all the panels and shit, and then schedule it. Time to come out and actually do all the installation and shit. So, probably next week and a half, I'll have solar on my house, and then the sun will power my home.
That's awesome. Good for you, buddy. Which company do you have doing it?
It's called Sunny Energy.
Nice.
Here in good old Arizona.
Cool. Did you do a purchase or a lease?
I purchased because
oh shit.
Leases are stupid.
Wow. Look at you.
Because if I leased it, if I went out and sold this house, then somebody would have to qualify for the lease for me to transfer it over. Alternatively, if I do a purchase, then I could just add whatever the balance is into the cost of the house, and then they don't have utility bills moving forward. Or I could also just pay for them to install it onto the new house since I own the panels and shit, and be like, hey,
they just move them.
Yeah, let me pay you $1,000. Go fucking install this shit over here.
Yes, I do know. I'm excited for you to get solar.
I like that you do. Me too, man. I'm kind of excited about it myself.
So what did we bring all the people in today? What are we talking about?
This is where we hold them. This is where we fight.
We're talking about terrible dates, man.
I love it.
Hey. We're talking about 2. I'm doing 2 apiece.
Yep.
Trying to limit to 5 minutes each if we can. And yeah.
Cool.
So why don't you go first, man? Because here's the thing, you're my brother, right? I don't know about your dating history really at all, aside from the shit that was very public.
Yeah, I honestly don't have a lot of dating history, but I do have 2 very bad dates. But I do have to go. I got to spin the wheel of time to get to both of them.
Okay.
It was my first really bad date. Was about as bad as you could possibly get. It was back in I couldn't even tell you how old I was, but I think I was like my freshman year of high school. So it was like mom and dad drive you still. And I was supposed to meet this girl. Her name was Morgan. And I was supposed to meet her at a movie. And we were going to go see, I remember it, we were going to go see Ever After. And then whatever afterwards.
Ever After. What the fuck is Ever After?
It was like a Cinderella story with...
Just breathe.
Tell me a favor.
Drew Barrymore.
Okay.
And I get there. Now, this is before cell phones were a thing. So I get dropped off to this thing. Mom says, see you later. And I'll be back in whatever time the movie gets over to come pick you up. And Morgan never showed up. And I watched Ever After by myself in the theater. Because I already bought the ticket and I had to spend my own money. That was like the agreement that my parents always had. You can do whatever you want. We'll drive you anywhere you want, but you're going to pay for it yourself. I said, no problem. So I spent maybe a month and a half mowing the lawn and saving money because $5 a mow.
Oh, God.
I finally got enough to pay for that movie ticket, and I wound up seeing it by myself. Thanks a lot, Morgan, you bitch.
But thinking about that, I feel I'd rather kill you. Cause I got you in my car and you ain't going nowhere, bitch.
You fucking cunt.
What's funny is we wound up becoming friends, and we're friends all through high school and shit, but yeah, she stood me up on that one. She's like, oh, well.
What did you say about it? What did she say about missing fucking Ever After?
I went back and I was like, what the fuck? And she was like, oh, well, me and my other friend, we were going to get together and do something, and we didn't know how to get a hold of you. I'm like, did you try a phone book? Because we're in it. That was a hard no, and like, you're fucking stupid, and that was a lot of fun. Thanks a lot. It was really, she just didn't want to go and didn't have...
Was it a good movie, at least?
It was okay. Hey, Alexa. What were the Rotten Tomato scores for Ever After, a Cinderella story?
Rotten Tomatoes reports that 91% of critics gave the film a positive review based on 64 reviews, with an average score of 7.5. The critical consensus states, Ever After is a sweet, frothy twist on the ancient fable, led by a solid turn from star Barrymore.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it since then.
That's unfortunate.
I'm not like scarred of the movie either. It's just it was not my choice.
Yeah, it was just what it was. What it was.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? That was my first really bad date. Flat out fucking stood up. Like, that was awesome.
So
It set the tone for my life moving forward.
So my bad day, right? I had just moved back here from Oregon, and I had terribly low confidence because the chick that I was with, like, told me constantly that I was just a giant piece of shit, you know? And when you hear that enough, you start believing it.
Yeah.
So I left her and then came back here, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking work out a shit ton. And I think you might remember this. I worked out a bunch, and then I just got in really good shape. And the thing was all despite her. I was like, oh, she's gonna fucking see what she's missing.
Oh.
Yeah.
And look at you now.
Oh God. Yeah, just drinking it.
It is going down real smooth.
But this was like, I was 21, 22 at the time.
Sure.
So this is before kids and all that. So I just devoted my life to just lifting and looking awesome. Like, just vanity, you know?
Yeah.
And I went out with this chick. I don't even remember where I met her, but I went out with this chick, and then we went out to, Applebee's, because, I'm a fucking classy dude.
Yeah, fucking strong.
And yeah, I got a Fiesta Lime Chicken. That's my favorite thing from Applebee's, man. The Fiesta Lime Chicken. It's so good with those little tortilla strips on it.
Okay.
But we got there, and you shut your whore mouth. But we got there, and then all that she would talk about is her fucking ferret. She had a pet ferret.
Hi, Hi guys! Today I'm going to talk about why I love ferrets. I love all animals in general.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Cats I would get, but...
Yeah, not only did she talk about it, she had a fucking keychain with a ferret picture on it.
They make those?
I mean, they make keychains
Custom.
and pictures. So,
That's what it was.
So she was like, yeah, I have pictures of my ferret. I love my ferret so much. Here's a picture. And then she's holding up her keys with this fucking ferret in this little 2x2 picture frame. And I'm like, oh, this is weird. You're real pretty. But ferrets smell like pee all the time.
A lot.
They do a lot.
I had a roommate with a ferret. It was gross.
Yeah, they're not attractive creatures. So we went through that whole date, and legitimately, I think we had 2 side conversations about something that was not her ferret.
The rest was all ferret talk.
Yeah, it was all ferret talk, and I tried interjecting with my pets, like Odin and Tess and all that shit, but all overdone by the ferret, and I'm like, I don't know how this is gonna work. And when I took her home, she's like, "Do you want to come up?" And I was like,
"No,
no," because I feel like during mid-coitus, you're gonna bring up your ferret somehow, and it's not gonna be a good thing. So I obviously didn't say that. I was just like, kissed her on the forehead, left, and I was like, wow, what a waste of $60. $60 wasted. And yeah, drove home, masturbated vigorously, and called it an evening.
Gave your old hoo-ha, the old how you doing?
Oh, I did. It was angry. It's like, what? $60 fucking dollars.
I'm gonna get my $60 out of my own schlong.
And you know what? I did. I did get $60 out of it.
Fuck, man. My second bad date was in high school. I think I was probably like my junior or senior year. Probably my senior year for sure. And high school and dating me didn't go very well because I was like in a metal band and stuff like that. Like, I was not your typical high school guy at all.
Which is the best. I mean,
I was awesome.
Now you would have been drowning.
Yeah, I think so. Like,
you would have been. You were just born at the wrong time, man.
Had I the confidence that I have today, I would do very well. Like, very well. But then I was very like...
Isn't that fucked up, man? Isn't
yeah,
that so
I think that's just kind of...
Like, you think about that as an adult, and you're like, man, if I could go back with what I have right now... Dude, if I could know now what I knew then, dude, like just the ones that I missed, I'm like, oh, she was definitely into you and kind of hot. Yeah, I have tons of those from high school. Like that let me know years after the fact. They're like, hey, I was kind of into you. I was like, I was super into you. And they're like, yeah, well, that sucks.
Yeah, because I'm married now with 3 kids.
It's like, man, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I took this girl to dinner, and which was amazing that I even got a date with her. She was from a prominent family who had, when I say she lived in a castle, I'm not saying she had a big house. She had a fucking castle.
So she was Mormon.
No, this is in Illinois. There are no Mormons in Illinois.
Oh God. Okay. All right.
And her name was Amanda, and I took Amanda to dinner. And I worked at a restaurant, and it was a really, really, really nice restaurant. So because I could get a discount there, I took her there. I was like, we'll go there. It's out of town. You have to drive to get there. It's a really pretty drive to get there. And we saw a bunch of like deer and shit on the way. And it was like, look, deer and snow and beautiful. And
you didn't kill any of them.
Not a single one. And we get to the restaurant. I had the best table like reserved for us and like our own private quarter, and they had the lights real low, and it was really, really nice. And the food was fucking bomb, bro. It was a real chef and sous chef. The sous chef had just gotten out of prison. That's how you know he was good. And it was...
I mean, I do right now based off the description alone.
I would have fucking done myself in that moment. But it was like, dude, so I was trying to... I knew then, even I was smart enough to know then, that, like, you don't want to do most of the talking. You ask about them and, like...
Yeah.
So tell me, like, that. The classic line was, so, like, what's your story, man? Tell me how you wound up where you're at. You know, like, let's deal with your family. This was her. This is my impression of her on our date.
Okay. When was this?
It was right when cell phone T9 texting became a thing.
Oh God.
To this day, I don't know who she was texting. It's really curious.
That's awful.
So that was our entire date. So it was like,
sorry, man.
And here's the thing too, like, she was younger than me, like not dramatically younger than me, but maybe a couple years. And so I was like, chalk it up to immaturity. Like, she didn't know any better. And so it would be like, so tell, you know, like, how's things going? Tell me about the family. What's your parents do? And she's like, my mom doesn't work and my dad's a doctor.
Cool.
Awesome. So what do you do when you're not at home? Like, I don't really know a lot about you. Tell me everything, man. I'm interested in you. I just hang out and stuff. She's like, I don't know. What do you do? I'm like, I'm in a band. She's like, what do you guys do? You guys like play like music? Are you guys like Maroon 5? I'm like, no. Have you ever heard of Cannibal Corpse? We're kind of like that. Yeah. And the thing is too, dude, like, that was like my prominent years where, like, people knew who I was.
Yeah.
So, like, I would go places and they'd be like, hey, you're in that band, right? Like, not to toot my own horn, but I was kind of a big deal then. Like, I know now that then, like, I didn't get it then, but I was kind of a local celebrity a little bit. Like, I go back.
You were local small town Illinois.
I was on the fucking radio. They knew who I was. Like,
radio, really?
Yeah. Like, they got played. There was 2 rock stations. They played us on one of them. We were in the rotation. Like, people knew who we were.
Oh,
we played we played the.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like, it was a successful local band, you know? Like, we played Decatur, Champaign, Bloomington, Chicago, St. Louis. We played everywhere. Like, it was our thing. And
those sound like cities.
Those are all major. They're all college towns. Chicago, St. Louis, we all know those. Champaign's University of Illinois. Bloomington Normal, that's Illinois State University. We played there. St. Louis, Chicago, those are the major cities there. And so yeah, people knew who we were. People knew who I was.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, and me and
saying anyway.
Yeah,
you know?
So I kind of got it thrown at me a lot too, and I didn't know because I was stupid. But yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, that's how that goes.
And
you look back on it and you're like, God, what a fucking idiot that was.
So what was funny is like I still put in the effort. And I talked about the band a little bit, and I was like, you know, we got a gig coming up. We're opening for Typo Negative. It's going to be cool.
What was your band's name?
Victims of Chaos.
Oh yeah, there it is. There it is.
Victims of Chaos. My friend made fun of us and called us Victims of Sodomy. But yeah, she was not interested at all. Like, it was just
unfortunate, man.
And what's funny is later on that year, they did in like our high school video yearbook that I was very much so a part of. They were like, "Hey, Amanda, what was the highlight of your year this year?" And she's like, "When Evan took me to dinner." I'm like, "Eat a dick, you fucking bitch!"
It's like, you stupid bitch. You didn't even let me put it in your ass.
She was into butt stuff too.
What?
Heard this later from my buddy's girlfriend, who I was friends with, girl named Amber. Unfortunate that I missed out on all that sort of fun.
Yeah, you do that.
Yeah.
That was her highlight, and you didn't get to.
I was just like, man, you are. I think it was now that she was probably trying to make sense of it, like probably kind of nervous. Like, if you were enjoying yourself, Like, and what's funny is I was trying to hit her up for a second date. She's like, man, I'm kind of busy. I'm like, mixed signals, I guess. I don't know. Fucking chicks are weird.
It's like busy bleaching my asshole. Sorry.
Waxing it.
I think Marie gagged in the kitchen. Did you just gag in the kitchen? I said, did you just gag in the kitchen when I talked about butt stuff? Oh.
That's a hard no, bro.
Talking about butt stuff with Evan. And I thought I heard you in the kitchen go, no? Okay. Oh, okay. Not the butt stuff. So my bad date, my second bad date, was actually what led me to the love of my life. Marie in there in the kitchen, gagging about stuff. So I went out with this chick. I was working at GoDaddy, and then I didn't plan on going out at all. And she was like, she worked at GoDaddy as well. And I was like, hey, or no, I was like, I'm gonna go home. And she's like, hey, what are you doing right now? I was like, I'm gonna go home. She's like, hey, do you want to hang out maybe? And I was like, not really. Like, I don't know if I can go home, go to bed. She's like, all right, well, I mean, I'm gonna be at the Armadillo Grill in Phoenix. I was like, that sounds awful. I don't want to fucking be any part of that.
Pass.
That's at a shitty place, that part of town, and my car was also in the shop, so I had a rental car while this was happening, and she was like, she convinced me. She was like, just go, and I was like, fucking fine. All right, I'll go. So I went, and then it was not good.
It was not good.
No, she was not interesting at all. Like, I was sitting there drinking, and I had the like tall boys and shit, and I was just like, yeah, well, we're here now, so
what? Tell me about. Fuck off.
A thing. Tell me what's going on. And she's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And her stories just weren't fucking interesting, man.
Yeah, not
like,
good.
She'd tell stories, and they were cyclical. Like, she'd be like, oh, and this, but remember when I said this? It's like,
it was like a Tarantino movie.
Nope,
but not good.
I don't. Yeah, it was awful. So I just kept drinking to try to make this date more interesting, right? And it didn't work. And then we got out into the parking lot, which was essentially just a dirt lot with some covered parking.
Yeah.
And she was making out with me and shit, and I was like, all right, well, I gotta go.
I gotta go.
Like, because she offered, she's like, well, do you want to come to my place? I was like,
no, I don't want to visit you.
I don't. But then, like, in my head, this is before Uber was a big thing, right? So I was like, man, I should probably take a taxi home, because I've had a lot to drink. And, but it was a rental car, so I was like, this is a real shit part of town, so I think I can make it. The 17's right there. So where I lived at the time, it was just the 17, the 101 to my house, and then that was it. Like, there wasn't a lot of driving to do. And I was drunk, but I wasn't like, oh shit, you're swerving all over the place, right? You know, because there's a clear difference.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, I can make it home. So she leaves, and then I'm like, all right, let's do this. So you get in the car and start playing the music, driving and whatnot. And then I noticed my phone's dying, and I had just moved to this house that I lived in. So I was like, oh, I need the maps. So I lean over to go plug my fucking car charger into my phone. And when that happens, I hit my wheel turns just a little bit and it goes like just along the sidelines.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, oh no. And then right behind me here, boop, 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 boop. And I see the lights and I'm like, fuck me.
Oh, well, no.
I guess this is happening. So
this is happening.
Yeah, so I pull over, and to make things better, I'm wearing this like baseball t-shirt. that says beer on it.
Oh,
It has a bear with a deer antlers.
Yeah.
So it's beer because it's a bear.
It's a bear deer. I get it.
Yeah, it's a bear deer. Okay. Just want to make sure that conveyed properly.
Sure.
Not only was I wearing that, but I was wearing the fucking. So I work for GoDaddy, but I was wearing the GoDaddy vet shoes because I was a friend with the guy who started the GD vet thing.
Uh huh.
So I was wearing like neon orange, fucking high top Converse.
Yeah.
And so when they pulled me over, they were like, "Hey, those are real interesting shoes." I was like, "Mm-hmm."
Yep.
They sure are. They sure are. And they had me do the whole sobriety test, and I was like, "This is not going well
This is
at all." Like, cause I was trying to be a cop in California, so I knew that sobriety tests were just to get as much evidence as you could against the person that was clearly drunk.
Yeah.
It's like, this isn't good.
This is subpar.
Yeah, this is not the best way that this could be going. So the dude came over to me and was like, "Hey, so unfortunately, I have to arrest you."
Cops is filmed on location with the men and women of law enforcement.
Driving while intoxicated or driving under the influence. And I was like, that makes sense. That makes all the sense in the world. But it was a rental car again. So I was like, okay, so I don't know how this works. So he's like, well, I mean, right now I gotta handcuff you. I was like, yeah, clearly. He's a cool dude. Like this arrest went the best way that any arrest could have gone. Like, I wasn't black, so I had that going for me just already, right out the gate. I didn't get shot.
That's good. Not right through the window?
Yeah. But he was like, you know what, you're a big dude. We're gonna handcuff you and then put a second pair of handcuffs so you're get all fucking out of craziness, because like fucking putting them all back here and shit, you know?
Yeah.
And so they put 2 sets of handcuffs on me, which is nice.
Yeah.
And, I got in the car and he was driving me, and I was like, hey, so what happens now, man? Like, I've never had this happen before. So what do we do? He's like, well, I'm going to take you down and we're going to process you and kind of go from there. I was like, just winging it? That's how this goes?
Yeah.
He's like, well, I mean, we'll see what happens. So we get down there and I'm like, I got to pee really bad because I've had way more to drink than I told you that I had to drink.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah, because he's like, hey, what did you have to drink? I was like, 2 tall kilt lifters, and it was like 8 of those.
Actually, 8.
Drinks. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we get in there, and then he's like, all right, well, you can call somebody. If you know somebody's number, you can call them right now and have them come pick you up, and then we'll just release you to their custody. And I was like, here's the problem. I don't know anybody's number. That's why I was charging my phone, which is dead now because we're in this position we're in right now.
Yeah.
He's like, ooh, all right, well, I was like, but if I can use your internet, I can look it up and I know somebody's phone number based off of the time that I've been texting them and whatnot.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right. So he let me use the fucking police station internet to
That's
look up
awesome.
to look up my AT&T bill. And then I was like, oh, I know who this is. Can I use the phone to call them? So he let me use his cell phone as long as I did the *67 thing, you know, to block his number.
Yeah.
So I called this guy 6 times, no answer. He's like, well, I gotta start doing this paperwork, so I'm gonna put you in this holding cell, and then I'll let you try again after I do this. Hopefully they answer, because otherwise I'm gonna have to drop you off the 7th Street jail. And he's like, and I feel dirty just dropping off paperwork at that place. And that's all that I do. Like, I go in there, drop paperwork off, and then I leave and I feel like I need to take a fucking shower. I was like, cool.
Happy to.
We way to instill that fucking confidence in me. Thanks, man. So he goes, and then I have like 20 minutes of just time that I'm trying to kill in this holded cell.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I find this like water bottle rim, right?
Yeah.
You know those plastic circles that go in water
Yeah.
bottles? So I found that rim, and I'm still handcuffed, so I was like, I wonder if I can break this and pick this lock.
Oh no.
So like, I'm just fucking around in there, so I break the rim, and I'm like, click, 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 click. I didn't break the lock.
No, shocking.
I'm terrible at doing it. I gave up about a minute in, and I was like, yeah, this isn't gonna happen. Just keep spending. But anyway, he comes back, and then he's like, well, I finished all this paperwork, so hopefully these people answer. So I call this other guy again. Spoiler alert, the person I'm calling is my employee at the time. And it's like 2 in the morning.
Oh shit.
And he ends up answering this time. And then I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much for answering. I need you to come get me. I am at this place, at this jail. Just come. He's like, Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
So he gets there, and then he's significantly younger than me, by the way. He's like 5 or 6 years younger than me. And he just comes there, and he's in his fucking pajamas, and they're like, do you understand we're releasing you? He's like, yes. Fucking,
yeah.
All right, whatever. And then I'm like, thanks, man. And then I rent this car, and then I get a DUI in the same car that I've rented. And then he picks me up from jail and drops me off at home. From this, like a week after, he brings me my wallet to rent this car. And then I had to get the balls up to call the rental company the next day and be like, hey, so
here's the thing.
Remember that car you rented to me? So they're like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of impounded in a little bit.
That's just a little impounded.
Yeah, just a little bit. So they're like, okay, where's it at? I was like, this address? They're like, what did it get impounded for? I was like,
I'm not telling.
No, I got pulled over.
Not telling.
And they just took it.
They just took it for no reason.
You should go get it. Caleb, you bye.
Okay, bye.
And so yeah, that was awful. Like, so that was the worst date I've ever been on, because that date, me trying to make that date more interesting, long story short, made me get a DUI. But to its credit, that DUI, I ended up meeting Marie, because both of us had DUIs. And don't judge.
Judge a little.
All right, that's fine.
What are you drinking again?
Wine right now. I'm probably gonna switch to scotch or vodka, because
that's what I do. I drink and I know things.
And that's when I met
Son of a
bitch. That very next day is when I met Marie. And
at DUI school.
At DUI school. She hit on me a bunch. She saw this and she's like, I need that in my life. I need it in there.
Need that in my life and in and around my mouth.
And she's let me in and around her mouth at least 5 times in the last 5 years. So, you know.
Your birthday's a great day.
Right. Yeah. My birthday is a great day. Oh, Christ. Yeah. So there's that, man.
Cool, man.
That's my second terrible date.
I support that. And I support you.
That's you, man.
Beautiful thing.
It's
awesome. Oh. Yeah, this probably doesn't shock you a lot, but I think of the dates that I had in high school, those 2 were half of them. Maybe,
oh, really?
Maybe 2/3.
Well, here's the thing. You got your confidence way late.
I did. That's true.
You really did. You got it way late. And I mean, we've had several conversations on it.
Mm-hmm.
That, if you had your confidence earlier, you'd be in a predicament like me where you just have kids.
Yep.
You fathered a whole tribe of children.
Not even a family anymore. Now it's a tribe.
It's maybe for the best.
Maybe.
But had sex with lots of people, though.
Yeah, you did.
I did. I don't know. I don't know that I'd switch it up. I don't know. Is that bad?
No, you're fine.
Is that bad?
I like it.
Okay. All right.
Do you want to play Rocket League now?
I do. Let me go get a drink. Hit the head real quick, and
Before you do that, why don't you? Why don't you say bye to our YouTube viewers?
Oh, our YouTube viewers. Yeah. Oh my God. All right. So those of you who came here for our podcast specifically, thank you for showing up, man. You guys are phenomenal. And if I say this every video, and most videos I don't do it as articulately as I'd like, but if you're going through things, if you have a thing that you're going through, know that there are people around you that care probably more than you think. Shit gets hard sometimes, and everybody's been through it, Everybody's been through some shit, and if we can bring you some sort of satisfaction or some sort of happiness to your life, that's fantastic. But you should definitely reach out to those that love you or those that care about you. And there's definitely more out there than you think that there are. And just know that there are people here for you to get through that. And that's it for me. Bloody, what do you got?
Sorry, I didn't hear words you were just saying. You want to go ahead and repeat all that for me?
Did you really not?
No, I'm just kidding. I was listening.
All right. I was like, God, I just poured my whole heart out there. That's right there. You son of a bitch.
Oh.
You fucking asshole.
All right, man.
Say fucking bye to these people, man.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Wow. Yours is way worse than mine was.